literally the oil slick off the window. That's why I and so many people I grew up have cancer.
This is a real burden on New Yorkers as we're trying to do the right thing.
It is also to distance the sport from Harry Potter author J.K. Rowling's views on transgender issues.
Does President Biden have cancer or COVID? One of the two. Mayor Eric Adams is talking about immigration in their city. CBP, Border Patrol, lost a bunch of illegal immigrants. Apparently, J.K. Rowling, the author of Harry Potter, is too against transgenders. And the Uvalde mom. Holy cow, lots of stuff coming up. Stay tuned. This episode of Daily Caller Live starts right now.
2, 1.
Here we go!
Might be the only brown guy in Earth named Jobob.
That is actually their name, Jobob.
Live from the Dingy Bunker. Oh, shoot, we're not in the Dingy Bunker. We are in Tampa, Florida, here at the TPUSA Student Action Summit. It starts tomorrow. As you can see, I'm in this lobby of this big convention hall, doing this stuff on the road and on the fly. I'm also hosting an event for them right now, so we're in between stuff, which is why we're so late today. So appreciate you sticking around. There's people walking through the back. This is just chaos, but I couldn't enjoy it more. A lot of stuff to get to today. First thing is this. Joe Biden, President of the United States, Delaware. Joe Biden had a pretty bad slip up yesterday that has caught the internet by storm. Well, first things first, I guess we should announce this. This is breaking news-ish. Joe Biden does have or has tested positive for COVID. He says he's feeling fine. I wish him a speedy and good recovery. I'm not one of those people, and I don't think you should be, that wishes any ill health on people who you disagree with politically, but that's just how I think a normal society in a democracy like the United States operates. So that being said, Joe Biden has tested positive for COVID today, which is interesting on the heels of his flub yesterday. If you haven't seen this already, it is one of the more interesting things that he said. There was one of the funniest tweets I have ever seen reacting to this video. We'll read you in just a couple seconds, but Joe Biden maybe announcing that he has cancer or just screwing up. Watch this clip and we'll discuss on the other side. Also, by the way, if you would love it if you click the little like button or the comment, just engage with the post. Sharing is awesome. We really, really appreciate you doing that. It doesn't cost you anything. It really, really does help us out. So if you wouldn't mind doing that, that would be fantastic for us. Especially because we're in such an interesting place with a bunch of people walking around, and who knows who's going to pop in. Jack Posobiec was right upstairs and doing his show. And anyway, sorry, I'm rambling. Let's play this clip of Joe Biden yesterday. Check it out. Watch this.
And guess what? The first frost, you knew what was happening. You had to put on your windshield wipers to get literally the oil slick off the window. That's why I and so damn many other people I grew up have cancer. And why can't, for the longest time, Delaware had the highest cancer rate in the nation.
Okay, so the president was talking about, I actually don't even know, oil on your windshield if you drive some sort of car, and that's why so many people have cancer. But he did say, if you missed it, that's why I and so many of the people that I know have cancer. To which America was like, wait a minute, did the president of the United States just announce that he has cancer? No, he does not. He doesn't have cancer. Again, he does have COVID right now, and again, best wishes and hope for a speedy recovery. But he does not have cancer. This was one of the funniest tweets I've seen in a while, especially regarding Joe Biden's most recent bizarre flub on whether or not he has cancer. Greg Price, who I believe worked at the Daily Caller for a long time and is huge on Twitter, tweeted this, and this was just hilarious. You know, things have gotten ridiculous when the president of the United States says out loud that he has cancer, and everyone responds by saying, oh, that's probably just his dementia. I wish I could have come up with that joke, because neither one is good. The president having cancer, not a good thing. But is it any better that he's just confused and saying things that aren't true? Somebody else laid out the list of possibilities. It's 1, he does have cancer. 2, he forgot that he had cancer. 3, he just got confused. And 4, has no idea where he is. None of those are good options to have when it comes to the President of the United States and the Commander-in-Chief of the greatest military on earth, but such is life. Let me see. I want to transition to this. This is actually a super interesting and super pertinent story to things that are going on. This is so CBP, the Customs and Border Patrol, came out with, the DHS, the Department of Homeland Security, came out with a report regarding the CBP's ability to track illegal immigrants that have come into the country illegally, for lack of a better term. Customs and Border Patrol failed to record domestic addresses for nearly a third of illegal immigrants released into the country, according to the Department of Homeland Security Inspector General report obtained by the Washington Free Beacon. Holy crap, a third of people? That's like 500,000 people at this point. Customs and Border Patrol, between March and June 2021, when migrants crossed, Border Patrol encountered 720,000 migrants. Well, I guess they're going to give us the numbers right here. The U.S.-Mexico border, according to the Free Beacon, between March and September of 2021, nearly 30% of those released did not comply with the release terms. Border agents have adopted ad hoc methods for records keeping, including dry erase boards to track unaccompanied minors, according to the Beacon. That's not great. There's more from this article that I want to get to, but I also wanted to play this in coinciding with the illegal immigration crisis we have at the border. It's impacting some of these states that it never impacts. It always impacts states like Arizona, states like Texas, states like New Mexico. And they all have a huge problem with illegal immigration coming in and completely exacerbating the systems that they have down there in those border states. But now that migrants are moving through the country, we saw, what's her name? Muriel Bowser, the mayor of Washington, D.C., say, hey, whoa, these buses that you're sending, not cool. And Texas Governor Greg Abbott and anybody who sent illegal immigrants there were like, yeah, that's the case. That's what we're dealing with. But also, they've come to New York City, which is pretty dang far away from the southern border. It's about as far as you can get. But Mayor Eric Adams was talking about this in a speech that he gave. Check this out, and we'll discuss more about this CBP losing a bunch of people. Watch this. Also, if you haven't already, click the little like button, the little share button. Really, really does help us out. Or give us a comment, whatever it is that you think, your opinion on this sort of stuff. Is this obvious? Is this Joe Biden's administration and just how they operate? Yeah, probably. Check this out. Mayor Eric Adams of New York City talking about the overwhelming surge of illegal immigration way up north. Check it out.
This is a real burden on New Yorkers as we're trying to do the right thing. We already, as I stated, we already have an overburdened shelter system. So now we're talking about, as you stated, food, clothing, school. This is going to impact our schools because we do not turn away individuals because they're undocumented. Translation services. There's just a whole host of things that this is going to produce, and that's why we need help in getting this done, and we need the right coordination to make it happen.
So there again, I don't need to repeat anything he just said. Mayor Eric Adams, they're saying, yeah, the illegal immigration problem is too crazy in New York City, and we can't handle them, and our systems are overburdened by too many people being here. It is kind of funny. It's kind of ironic. I feel like Alanis Morissette should be playing here. But that is the second big-time mayor of a big-time American city that is not a border city or in a border state saying, we can't hang. Back to the whole DHS losing a bunch of people. Sorry, the CBP. DHS, the Department of Homeland Security, issued this report about CBP, Customs and Border Patrol. These deficiencies can delay DHS from uniting children with their families and sponsors and cause migrants to remain in DHS custody. I got to get my acronyms together. There's so many acronyms. I'm at SAS right now. Sorry, I'm at CLS right now. SAS is tomorrow. The DHS and the CBP and the ABCDFG people. I can't get it straight. They should continue their efforts to improve IT capabilities to track migrants and share information, the DHS report said. This is from the Daily Caller, by the way. DHS and CBP, neither one of them has responded for a comment to the Daily Caller News Foundation. So get a load of that. I want to get to this. This is actually super interesting. Interesting in the sense of it is a cultural indication of where we are and how ridiculous things have gotten. Are you familiar with Harry Potter, the boy wizard who charmed all of us for the better half of, a decade? There was this game in Harry Potter called Quidditch, if you're not familiar with the series. Quidditch was where people rode around on brooms and played this game. It's a mythical game, needed magic. People don't have magic, so they play it on the ground. Real people are playing Quidditch all over the world. It's kind of a cult following type of thing, kind of like LARPing in some way, shape, or form. It's not huge, but there are quote-unquote professional teams out there. Major League Quidditch is a real thing. So with that, they apparently are not happy with the way J.K. Rowling talks about transgenders. I want you to listen to some of this. This is from CNN reporting. Quidditch, the real-life sport inspired by the airborne game played by young wizards in Harry Potter, which is just what I just explained, is ditching its whimsical name. Now athletes will mount on broomsticks and play quad ball. So they're changing the name of Quidditch to quad ball. Why, do you ask? Here's a little bit more about quad ball. U.S. quad ball and Major League Quad Ball is the sport governing bodies of the North American teams. Both announced that they would be changing their name from Quidditch to quad ball, which is set to go into effect this summer. Great. Who cares? The International Quidditch Association plans to adopt the new name as well, the organization says. There are two reasons for the name change, but this is the most pertinent one. The sport, Quidditch, the mythical, magical sport brought to life in a fictional novel, wants to separate itself from Harry Potter author J.K. Rowling, and this is a quote from CNN, her anti-transgender rhetoric. We'll get to what she says about transgenders, and I would imagine that you're going to agree with her. But also the secondary situation, but this is not real. They're throwing this in there to try and make it official. This is not legit. Also, neither organization wanted the Quidditch trademark to come to blows with the Warner Brothers company. And then they throw in there that CNN shares a parent company with Warner Brothers Discovery. The reason that that's not true and that's not legit is because it's a mutually beneficial trade-off. Warner Brothers, yes, holds a trademark, but isn't going to sue the International Quidditch League because the only thing they're doing is giving Warner Brothers free publicity for their Harry Potter movies, which still make a ton of money. So that reason is gone. The main reason is they want to distance themselves from author J.K. Rowling and her anti-transgender rhetoric. Rowling has increasingly shared her views and took aim at transgenders, particularly trans women. Her comments have alienated many of her fans and several of the actors who brought her stories to the screen, including Daniel Radcliffe and woke Emma Watson, who have publicly supported trans people. I'm going to stop reading from there. I want to read what people are actually upset about from J.K. Rowling. Actually, hold on. Watch this clip. Shoot, I should have played the clip sooner because I think I just explained pretty much everything going on here. So if you're watching, you get to see what on-the-ground magical game of Quidditch looks like. Check this out, and then we'll get into what J.K. Rowling actually said, which is pretty dang reasonable. Also, if you haven't already, really would appreciate it if you click the little like button or the angry button or the sad button or the laughing button. Give us a comment. Let us know what you think. Doesn't matter. I don't know. What are you having for breakfast? Whatever breakfast. I guess if you're on the West Coast, maybe it's around breakfast. Lunchtime on the East Coast right now. Anyways, give us a comment. Really helps if we engage with the content, and also click the little share button. Would really appreciate that. Anyways, watch what no longer Quidditch, quad ball is. Check it out.
Quidditch, a sport from the fictional world of Harry Potter and recreated in real-life tournaments, is undergoing a name change. According to the sport's governing bodies, on Wednesday, the real-life version will be called Quadball. The move is to try to avoid any trademark issues with Warner Brothers.
No.
It is also to distance the sport from Harry Potter author J.K. Rowling's views on transgender issues. Both US Quidditch and Major League Quidditch have rebranded to US Quadball and Major League Quadball and will be joined by the International Quidditch Association.
This is so dumb. This is one of the dumber stories I think we've covered. But here's what J.K. Rowling said that was so egregious that's making Quidditch lose their name and distance themselves from the lady who invented it. She said, "I want trans women to be safe. At the same time, I do not want to make natal girls, biological women, less safe." Oh, the bigotry. She says at some point, acknowledged somewhere else, she also goes on to say, "I believe the majority of trans-identified people not only pose zero threat to others, but are vulnerable for all of the reasons that I've outlined." I can't imagine the bigotry there from J.K. Rowling. Of course it is not. Pretty much everybody agrees with that. Hey, do whatever you want to do. If you want to be whatever, it doesn't matter. Who cares? A lot of us tend to be more libertarian in that. But you can't play sports. You can't use women's bathrooms. You can't do all of that sort of stuff. You can't make biological women less safe. That is the only thing she said. Well, she goes on and says more of this. This is again, as J.K. Rowling said, "I'm mentioning these things now, not in an attempt to garner sympathy, but out of solidarity with a huge number of women who, with histories like mine." She is a sexual assault survivor, I believe, J.K. Rowling is, "who've been slurred as bigots for having concerns about single-sex spaces." Does anybody disagree with this? I'm serious. Does anybody actually disagree with what she said? That seems like an insanely reasonable thing to say. And maybe not everybody, but 85% of America agrees with that. Hey, look, do whatever you want to do, whatever. But you can't do all the things. I don't get to do all the things I want to do, and that's just the way that life works. But the thoroughly reasonable J.K. Rowling is getting distance from her own game. I want to, let me see. Oh, there's some comments that are kind of interesting here. Talking about the suicide rate among transgenders. Now, that's a gender dysphoria issue. We can maybe expand on that a little bit more, but that's a different issue. So there's that. That's just ridiculousness continuing to invade our society. I want to get to this, and this is not super fun. This is just kind of like another look into the culture of what's happening in and around the country. The Uvalde shooter's mom needs to go away, or just move. Don't show your face there. Don't be out in public. Don't confront people. I don't know what she's thinking when she's talking to people out loud. But the mother of the 18-year-old Uvalde shooter, lashed out at victims on Tuesday, telling them they had no right to judge her son before calling him a coward, according to the Dallas Morning News. After dumb, idiot, coward, loser, I'm not going to use his name, opened fire at Robb Elementary, murdering 21, his mother, Adriana Martinez, said her son had his reasons for carrying out the shooting. Martinez was confronted about his quote-unquote reasons Tuesday while walking in Uvalde when the family members of one of the victims confronted her. And that is this interaction right here. Watch this again. This is not super fun to talk about or cover, but it is what it is. Check this out.
May God forgive y'all. I need what reason? Because he was pissed off at you. What reason? Because you destroyed him. What reason did he have? Because that's what he was saying. What reason did he have to kill 21? I'm right here by the. What? I'm sorry.
This is just a bad situation. Look, Uvalde mom kid is just don't. You got to move. I think that's what you have to do. I don't think you, especially if you're going to make ridiculous statements like that. He had his reasons. And I'll give some grace in the sense that not everybody is media trained, and when a camera's in your face, like when the CNN reporter, this is a couple weeks ago, put a camera in her face in her car, you don't need to talk to them. So I guess there's some, I don't want to say grace, but understandability there in why she would say those sorts of things. But at the same time, you can't live in that area, in that culture anymore. Another comment here saying the mom is nuts and therefore the kid is nuts. Yeah, that's someone says screw his mom. No reason for that behavior. Shooter's mom is just as crazy as him. Yeah, so that I don't know. I don't know what you do there. I honestly don't know. I don't have any other answers. Dang. Well, ending that on a bad note. Not a bad note, but that's that. Jeez, wow. I should have ended with the Quidditch thing because that was at least somewhat silly. But that will do it for us today. We're cutting things off a little bit short because I've got to get back into the chapter leadership summit to announce the end of lunch and continue on with the fun week. We will be back here tomorrow, I believe, hopefully more on time. What is happening? There's a big kind of tractor thing coming in behind me. This is fun. I think this is fun. Kind of just chaos going around in the background and just seeing what's going on. Oh, he's going to stop right there. Look at this. Look at that. And now we're going to go up. All right, cool. That's fine. Anyways, we're in Tampa today for Turning Point USA's Chapter Leadership Summit and their SAS Student Action Summit tomorrow. I believe Ron DeSantis is going to be here tomorrow. President Donald Trump will be here on Saturday. I will be speaking Saturday morning. If you're in the Tampa area and you want to come to SAS, message me. You can follow me on any of my social media platforms. At Jobob, that's the easiest way you're going to be able to find me. Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Getter, YouTube. I said YouTube twice. It's been a long morning, but you can follow me there. If you would like to come to SAS and you're in the Tampa area, let me know. I've got a promo code for you that you can grab. Gonna be a rocking weekend. Gonna be back here tomorrow, same place-ish, probably in this general vicinity. Maybe I'll go up to Media Row and do the show from there. But until then, we will see you. And I'm not going to say same time either, because who knows when we're actually going to be able to get on here with everything happening. I'll stop rambling. I'm going to go grab a sandwich before we get back in there. Stay safe out there, America. We'll see you tomorrow. God bless America.